Ever walked into a room and flicked a switch and for a split second nothing happens? Or maybe you've noticed a light that just won't stop flickering no matter what you do. These might seem like tiny annoyances, but they can be whispers from your home's electrical system, hinting at bigger issues hidden behind the walls. What if I told you that some of the most critical safety upgrades for your home are things you might not even see, but they could save your property and even your life? Stick with me and we'll uncover the simple, essential upgrades that turn your house into a truly safe haven. Hi everyone, and welcome back to ElectroGuide. As a qualified electrician here in the UK, I see all sorts of wiring, from brand new installations to systems that are decades old. And honestly, it's the older stuff that keeps me up at night. Today, we're not talking about fancy smart lighting or complicated gadgets. We're going back to basics, focusing on the core of your home's electrical safety. These are the upgrades that every single homeowner should know about. Let's start with the heart of your electrical system, the distribution board, or as many people still call it, the fuse box. If you open your cupboard and see an old board with big ceramic fuses you have to manually rewire, that's a major red flag. Modern consumer units, as we call them now, are a world away in terms of safety. The single most important feature they have is the RCD, or residual current device. So what does an RCD do? Think of it as a super fast, life-saving switch. It constantly monitors the flow of electricity in a circuit. If it detects even the tiniest imbalance, like the current finding a different path to the ground, perhaps through a person, it cuts the power in a fraction of a second. We're talking milliseconds, which is faster than a heartbeat and quick enough to prevent a fatal electric shock. Older fuse boxes simply don't have this protection. Fuses are designed to protect the wiring from catching fire due to overload. RCDs are designed to protect you. Upgrading to a modern consumer unit with RCD protection on all circuits is, without a doubt, the most significant safety improvement you can make. It's a requirement under the current 18th edition wiring regulations for a very good reason. It saves lives. Next on our list is something that's becoming increasingly vital: surge protective devices. We all have expensive electronics in our homes: TVs, computers, games consoles, even our kitchen appliances are packed with sensitive circuit boards. An electrical surge, which can be caused by anything from a lightning strike miles away to switching operations on the national grid, can send a massive, brief spike of voltage through your wiring. This spike can instantly fry your delicate electronics, causing hundreds or even thousands of pounds worth of damage in an instant. And surge protective devices is like a pressure relief valve for your electrical system. It sits inside your consumer unit and detects that incoming surge. When it sees it, it diverts the excess voltage safely to earth, protecting everything plugged in downstream. It's a small component, but it acts as a bodyguard for all your valuable gadgets. With our increasing reliance on technology, installing and surge protective devices is no longer a luxury. It's a very sensible precaution. The 18th edition regulations now strongly recommend them, and for good reason. It's a small investment to protect your much larger investments. Now let us talk about something you can't see: the cables running through your walls and under your floors. This is particularly crucial if you're planning any renovation work. If your home was built before the mid-1960s, it might still have old rubber-insulated cabling. Over time, this rubber perishes. It becomes brittle, cracks, and flakes away, leaving the live copper conductor exposed. This is an extreme fire hazard. Even later PVC cables from the 70s and 82nd might not be up to modern standards. They often lack a CPC, or circuit protective conductor, which is the earth wire. Without a proper earth, fault protection systems like RCDs and fuses might not operate correctly when a fault occurs, which is incredibly dangerous. Before you even think about knocking down a wall or even just replastering, you absolutely must get your wiring checked. An electrical installation condition report will assess the state of your cabling. If you have old, degraded wiring, a full rewire is often the only safe option. It's a big job, yes, but putting new plaster over dangerous, old cables is like putting a sticking plaster on a broken leg. You're just hiding a serious problem that will inevitably cause trouble down the line. A rewire ensures your home's electrical skeleton is sound, safe, and compliant with the 18th edition, giving you total peace of mind for decades to come. Finally, let's step outside. Outdoor electrics need to be tough. They're exposed to rain, sleet, snow, and the summer sun. When we talk about outdoor lights or sockets, we have to talk about IP ratings. IP stands for Ingress Protection, and it's a two-digit code. The first digit rates protection against solids, like dust, and the second digit rates protection against liquids, like water. For example, a light fitting with an IP44 rating is protected against objects larger than 1 millimeter and splashing water from any direction. This is often the minimum you'd want for a general-purpose outdoor light on a wall. But if you're installing a light in the ground where it could sit in a puddle, you'd need a much higher rating, like IP67, which means it's dust-tight and can be temporarily immersed in water. Using an indoor-rated fitting outside is a recipe for disaster. Water and electricity are a lethal combination. It can cause short circuits, damage the fitting, and create a serious shock risk. Always make sure any outdoor electrical installation uses appropriately IP-rated equipment and is installed by a competent person. It's all about using the right tool, or in this case, the right fitting for the job. So let's recap the essentials. First, upgrade that old fuse box to a modern consumer unit with full RCD protection. It's the #1 safety upgrade for protecting people. Second, consider adding a surge protective device to shield your expensive electronics from voltage spikes. Third, if you have an older home, especially if you're renovating, get your wiring checked. A rewire might be necessary to eliminate fire and shock risks from old cables. And fourth, for any outdoor electrics, insist on using fittings with the correct IP rating to keep water out and keep you safe. All of these upgrades are guided by the BS 7671 ET wiring regulations, currently the 18th edition. These regulations aren't just red tape. They are a detailed, comprehensive set of rules developed over decades to ensure electrical installations are safe. Following them isn't optional. It's the benchmark for safe professional work. When you hire an electrician, make sure they are working to the current regulations. It's your guarantee that the job is being done properly. Your home is your sanctuary, and these upgrades are fundamental to keeping it that way. They aren't the most glamorous home improvements, but they are by far the most important. Don't wait for a flicker to turn into a fire or a small shock to become something far worse. Be proactive about your home's electrical safety. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Stay safe.